Okay. So, last time, when we left off, you guys were running as the dawn was coming away from a group of about 12 or 14 of these monstrous humanoid creatures. You fought two of them and killed two of them in the past, but this was a pack of a dozen of them. And as they ran after you, some of them laughing and chittering, some of them of varying heights, some of them even with sort of empty eye sockets, and some of them with holes where a nose might have been or might be. Through some, I think, certainly clever use of different spells, a flaming sphere from Val, a fireball from Tyron, and a combination dragon's breath plus some inspiration and a little bit of illusory magic. You all conjured the image and pushed back right in the last moment a number of this whole pack of creatures that were following you. And in doing so, gave yourselves all just the amount of time needed to go into the water. All of you have ways to breathe underwater, right?
Drowning, yeah.
Yeah, we all got what are those called?
I
I can't find it in my inventory, but we got something.
You guys all bought them, I think. They were caps of water breathing, I believe. I think that's right.
Oh yeah, they're caps.
You all bought them. I just put my hood up.
You just bought your hood up. Yeah. I think it might be in your inventory, maybe in the party inventory section. Maybe someone posted it there. I think some of you I saw on your character sheets had added it. Maybe others not. Now would be a good time to do that because you're going to need it if you guys want to swim down. Maybe I'm looking. I don't think maybe it's not in there. Let me change one thing here so you guys can all always hear my music. How's the music volume?
Good.
Good.
Do you have Tailspire up and running?
I do not. Turn it down just a little bit. There we go. You guys descend, swimming. Bacchio puts his hood up, and the rest of you, having prepared and attuned to your items ahead of time, as you were resting, probably maybe you attuned to it during the cat nap that you took, or the short rest you took in the rope trick, or something of that sort. But as you start to swim, what is before you is expansive. And very quickly, as you swim downwards, the water is cool, and you see the rising sunlight starting to come through a little bit across the water, but the water itself is, especially this early in the morning, is deep and it is dark. Among you, the most proficient swimmers are Bacchio and Nat, with her movement speed. I think among you, some of the least proficient swimmers. Would that be Tyron? Would that be you?
I would say I would be the least proficient. Yes.
Okay. What does that look like? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh man. Literally, like someone trying to learn how to swim and they can't seem to figure it out and need someone else to come rescue them.
Tyron, make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Hey. Oh, dirty 20.
Okay.
Or 22. Dirty 22, whatever.
The panic is setting in a little bit as you guys are underwater, and you are sinking a little bit because you can't swim, but you're not sinking that much, and you see some of the others around you. Actually, can I get Constitution saves from everyone? And I'll start with let me know who rolls under a 10. Bacchio, except for you, you're good.
I like to think my body's natural gravity will help me just sink into the ground.
Nat rolled a 5. And I would like to know that although Nat does when she gets the hang of it, can swim very fast. As noted in all of our boat travels where Nat gets pretty seasick, that I can swim, but figuring out the currents is making me slightly nauseous, which is why I think I got a 5.
Okay.
I got a 9.
Okay. 5 and a 9. Anybody else roll under 10? Okay. Val, a minute goes by as you guys were running, crashing into the water, and for you first, being the shortest member of the party, what was knee deep for Bacchio was very quickly waist and then chest deep water for you, and you had to start swimming quickly. And as you're doing this, you see you have been swimming for sort of diving down, trying to put distance between yourself and this chasing horde behind you. Horde is an exaggeration, but yeah, a little baker's dozen plus one of these monstrosities. Certainly enough to put you guys in significant danger. You've been swimming for maybe 20 or 30 seconds and you see Bacchio dive in, sort of do that final dive as he dives in and pops his hood up, and he quickly just sort of jets, kicks a few times and jets 60 feet in front of you and sort of turns around and is watching all of you. Bacchio, you watch all of them start to swim towards you. And you've been swimming now for about 45 seconds, about a minute. Val, when you're holding your breath and you need to breathe, and you've got your sort of intuitively you have this cap of water breathing on, but it is a very strange sensation as you open your mouth, and at the end of your breath starting to see little stars in your vision as your body needs air. You breathe water in, and through the magic of this cap of water breathing, you breathe water, literally, and it is an unsettling feeling as the water floods into your lungs, and you also start to sink because you are not buoyed up by the air in your lungs, and there is no air in your lungs anymore. And the cap for all of you, Nat, you have a similar sensation seconds later as you're trying to sort of fight this nauseating sort of, there aren't too many currents in this lake, but there's a breeze and there's a little bit of a current on the top water. You see Val looking like she's taking a full-on breath underwater. It's a weird sensation, but you do the same, and you start to sink as well, not buoyed as much by the fact that the last bits of air have left your lungs.
I think this is not how I expected these caps of water breathing to work. I wasn't expecting them to it to be like you're literally breathing water. So I probably am panicking a lot right now. Like I think it didn't work and I'm dying.
Okay.
Is probably where I'm at.
Okay.
And I'm probably not being very cool about it. I'm like kind of flailing and trying to yell, but imagine sound doesn't travel very, very easily.
Since I had seen Val like take in that breath, I'd obviously been watching her and seeing that it's going from one breath to like hyperventilating breath. So yeah, I'll like swim over to her, or I guess she started singing before me, so I'll kind of like kick to catch up to her and just kind of like hug her as we go down, just to like keep her from like going up, and just like start trying to speak to her, but I don't know if we can fully speak down there.
You all can break for the surface. The surface is not but 10-15 feet above you at this point.
Nat is dragging me down. Like I think I'm drowning, and Nat is pulling me down further.
And Nat's saying, I think you're supposed to pop your ears a lot as you go down. Like, I'll show her like the scuba diving popping ears method. I saw Bacchio doing it down there.
I imagine this looks a lot like when you're holding up a toddler that's having a temper tantrum and they're just sort of flailing and you're just kind of like holding them.
Yeah, and that's refusing to let you just like go back up and like see those creatures who are waiting for us probably at the surface.
Your first couple words, Nat, as you say, it's sort of bubbly as you say, I think you're supposed to pop your ears, and you sort of, but as you do this, as you try to speak, you basically sort of normalize, and there's nothing but water, so there's no air to get in the way of sort of bubbling, and you're actually able to speak relatively clearly. It takes a little more effort than normal because your lungs are working with a heavier fluid than air. But Bacchio, you can hear Nat talking. The sound carries pretty well underwater, actually.
So I envision myself like swimming out, seeing this trouble, and then kind of making myself swim back to corkscrew around the entire group.
Yeah.
With my advanced swim speed, just kind of like they're all shooting down this way, and I'm kind of like the orbiting atom around the outside of them.
Okay.
Making sure everyone's okay.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
Yogi. Evan.
Okay. It's difficult to see too much. The landscape under the water here is decidedly more, I would say decidedly more verdant than the gravel barrens you just came from, but it's not an explosion of life. It's nothing like some of the reefs that you've seen in your travels on islands in the Sea of Yaramia. This is a, there is life down here under the water, and it is fresh water. You see the slight movements on the very edges of your vision of what looks like the sort of, at first you're like, you have to double take on it, but sort of the slight movements of a plant life at the edge of your vision. Beyond that is darkness, and without low light vision, without dark vision, the darkness below, you have to hope that perhaps when the sun gets high in the sky, maybe the light will get down farther. The lake is not as deep as the ocean, not even close, but it is darker down there. But you don't see anything relatively nearby, and as you look back where you came from, as you're sort of doing these corkscrews, you do see sort of shadows of about a dozen or so figures at the edge of the water. You see some of them sort of walking back and forth, and over the next couple minutes, they start to leave the edge of the water.
I am for sure casting Sacred Flame from under the water on them up there. He's like, "Fuck you, burn, bitch, burn."
Small explosions of radiant energy clip a few of them, and some of them they leave a little faster.
Does the light from that explosion make anything seem a little bit brighter? No, that's fair.
It's too quick, and it's up. It's away from you guys. But you know the direction that you kind of have to go. There's really only one way to go, right? Like, you guys are at the edge of the lake, at this what looks like one of the southernmost portions of the lake. The only way, presumably, to go would be to swim straight to go north, and maybe swim down.
Again, corkscrew.
Okay. Nalikos has a bit of a moment as well with these things, and Sig, you would see Nalikos usually tries to keep things kind of cool, but you actually see that he's not actually the strongest swimmer, and a little flash of like momentary terror as he starts to sort of hyperventilate for 20 or 30 seconds, not unlike Val, and Nat maybe a little bit at the beginning. All right. Are you guys just swimming? What's as you all sort of sink down to the bottom?
In the esteemed words of Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. What do? You
real quick, I would just like to describe Tim's, because he got a
absolutely. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't get to the rest of the context. So yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I like to imagine that he keeps it he doggy paddles even though he's underwater. Just doggy paddles, and it's just like he keeps it very simple. He doesn't move very fast, but he's just calm and like doggy paddling underwater away.
Tyron,
but yeah, I just wanted to throw that out with how I imagined Tim going through the situation.
It's an odd sight for all of you. Tim's clothes sort of flowing a little bit in the water, and this blue-skinned satyr with an interesting cap on that helps him breathe water. Or did we agree maybe it wasn't a cap? I can't remember what. All of yours were slightly different. The way that it was a hat
underwater.
Sorry.
I have to cap up water breathing.
Yeah, whether it was like a hat or like a little circlet or like a necklace or something, it's up to you guys. I'll let you describe whatever one you would have picked. Sort of doggy paddling and also descending a little bit into the water. You guys find as you descend, there is a point where your buoyancy equilibrates, but it is a fair bit below the surface without air in your lungs. Oops, what is this? This is not the background music that I wanted. Why didn't that not loop? I will stop that for the moment and find something else. There we go. As you're swimming, you swim for a couple hours. You guys don't make the fastest progress. Bacchio, they move about what you have a swim speed equal to your walking speed, right?
I think it's more. I think it's like 60.
Is it really? Wow.
Let me check. Yeah, I thought it was a lot faster than my walking speed.
That's awesome.
Could be wrong. Yep, 60 feet.
60 feet. Wow. So at a full dash, if you really kick into it, and the cloak, you guys all see the cloak has spread out. It doesn't normally look like this, but as it spreads out, it looks like the two sort of large fins of a large ray. And sometimes in Bacchio, as he's doing this sort of loop kind of around you guys, and sometimes scouts a little farther ahead, when he gets 50 or 60 feet off, you see the cloak is actually sort of flapping slowly in especially when he gets going in the water, and he looks like a giant ray in the water. And you feel Bacchio, you feel the cloak the way you might imagine a set of wings attached to your back, catching air and sort of guiding you. As you think and as you swim, it sort of angles with you, and you can sort of bank and turn and glide effortlessly, very quickly through the water. The rest of you, it's challenging and somewhat tiresome. Thankfully, you're able to breathe, and you can take sort of breaths when you need, or breaks when you need. And over time, so they move, I think you guys move at half speed when you're swimming. That's normally the route. So if you're sort of full dash, which is hard to keep up for hours on end, you guys maybe move, 15, 20 feet around in a comfortable pace. So it's movement, but it's slow going. So hours go by. Are you guys staying relatively near the surface, sort of middle down, or are you trying to stay along the bottom? If you equilibrate, you might be able to get to the bottom and sort of walk across the bottom.
I would say I'd be following Bacchio's lead because I see him as half fish.
Did anyone see far? Does anyone have dark vision?
Everyone except you has dark vision.
Okay, well, I'm going to swim back to you guys and say, let's hold hands. We're going to go deep.
Yeah, I feel like sticking to the bottom makes the most sense.
We're going to create one big ring of all of us holding hands and slowly make our way spiraling down deeper and deeper and deeper.
Bacchio, as you do this, as you all sort of grab hands and you start to do this, you also realize, and it dawns on you all at once, you could pull them. They don't weigh very much. And as you sort of have this realization and you start to pull, you guys go from a ring into a chain, and he pulls you down and is able to pull you roughly around the same speed that you guys were initially sort of swimming on your own, but you don't have to do anything. He just sort of pulls you along. And as you get to the bottom, there are fish around. You've seen small darting here and there, and there's plant life along the bottom, and you see in front of you what looks like a kelp forest. Maybe not full-on kelp, but like a sort of algae, underwater tree, sort of freshwater. I guess maybe there's freshwater kelp in this world. Boom, done. And there are sections of it that reach 30, 40 feet tall. You guys are about 150 feet under the water now.
Once they hit the ground walking, I'd like to stay above them, flying holding pattern.
Okay.
Keeping them at the center of a radius of however far I can swim.
Sure. Yeah.
Overwatch.
About how far above them are you?
You mean vertically?
Yeah.
If they're walking on the surface, I'll call myself 20 feet vertically above them.
Okay.
With a diameter of 40 feet, so I could get back to them instantly in one turn.
Easily. Okay. Are you guys moving quickly, stealthily? How are you proceeding?
Pirates of the Caribbean walking on the bottom. Just left foot, right foot. How can you be stealthy down there?
You could try to. You guys could try to. That's a good question. You could try to move slowly and try to stay in presumably in the shadows, but or you could sort of move into this kelp forest if you wanted to use that as cover. There could be things in there. You're not sure. That's sort of up to you guys.
Have we seen anything that merits hiding from?
Make a perception check. We'll have everybody in the group. If you feel like you would be keeping eyes out, and if you have dark vision, go ahead and let me know. If you don't have dark vision, you're going to be making this perception check with disadvantage.
I got an 11, so I hope someone else is also looking out.
I got a nat 20.
Nice.
All 0.
I got a dirty 20.
Do you have
got
dark vision, Tim?
19.
I don't think so, to be honest. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't. Where would it be features and traits?
Yeah, be in features and traits. I don't think you do. So I think Bacchio is not alone in not having dark vision. A 19 is very good, though, from Nat. As you look around, you do see something. Other than the small creatures, fish, and odd little sort of things flitting between rocks and under little rocks and behind little pieces of vegetation and algae, you do see something a bit larger. You see Nat a ways off, to your sort of in front of you, but off to the right a bit, just on the edge of this kelp forest, which is also a little farther off to your right. You see what you thought was a large rock suddenly move and snap to, like, a set of jaws, with a long, thin snout, open up and snap at something. And you see it sort of snap once and then open and sort of catch, and you see it looks like it caught something, just a little piece of prey that it eats. And then very slowly you see it sort of push off, and it looks like a long, like almost serpentine figure, and its tail makes this big sort of swooshing, like, back and forth as it comes off the ground almost effortlessly. And its tail propels it sort of off towards the kelp forest.
Since we're all, like, holding hands in this little circle, I'm gonna stop and kind of, like, yank people back and then describe it mainly to Bacchio, because I just assume he knows what it is.
Okay. Bacchio,
point out what direction it went into.
Okay, make a nature check for me.
I got it, brother. The best, not the worst. 13.
Okay, 13's pretty good. The way you didn't see it, but the way she describes it, it sounds like a perhaps like a sea serpent of some sort, like a larger sea serpent. Or perhaps like a reptile of some sort that might sort of swim through the waters.
I'm gonna just instruct everyone to gather a little bit closer so that we present a larger profile from far away, so that any animal might think that we are a larger individual than we actually are. Bear safety 101. Be bigger.
Got it. Okay.
Now I'm gonna slowly say, "Go away, bear. Go away, bear." I'm not gonna.
Okay. You say that to it?
No.
Okay.
I don't say that to it.
Okay.
If it comes close, maybe I will.
Let's see here.
What?
Okay. Nat, you saw it sort of slip off into the kelp forest, and Bacchio and Tim and Nat, all of you, as she points this out, you do see, you can see occasionally at the top, you can see like a little rippling effect through the middle of the forest. You can kind of track occasionally sort of where it's swimming through. And then it stops. The kelp forest is a little bit off to your right. If you guys, the sun is starting to rise. You can see as you look up, the waters above you are much brighter than they were before. And off to your left, you do see. Is that a raised hand?
Yes.
Yes. What's up?
I noticed it's getting brighter. I would probably try and opt to go towards the surface.
Okay.
Because
I'm grabbing you, pulling you right back. Strength in numbers.
I was just like, I'll be like, light up city.
We go together, we go as not at all. We gotta stay this group. You're gonna get picked off. We all want to go up that way?
Nalikos goes, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind feeling like I could see things coming, but maybe that means they can see us? I'm not sure.
Dang? Nat? Val?
Yeah, let's go for it.
At least see us either way.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have, the people who can't see to be able to see. So yeah, let's go for it.
We gotta go together though. So let's go together. Otherwise, that big ass thing gonna pick you off. Let's go.
Okay. You guys head towards the surface? Okay. You head towards the surface. Do you break the surface? You guys just swimming like 15, 20 feet, or I don't know. I guess it's up to you how close you are to the surface.
I'm gonna pull the alligator method of breaking the surface, which is just my eyes and my nose. Just
Okay. The rest of you?
I'm gonna really like see help from the bottom, let it splay out at top of my head, so it just looks like a little something just breaking the surface. Just little. In my first rodeo.
The cap of water breathing helps you guys with the depth and the pressure magically helps you sort of equilibrate, so you don't have to pause too much going up or down or really worry about that too much. So you guys head up, and Bacchio, as you break the surface, your hood of your cloak works a little differently, so you actually have like a sort of magically contained bubble sort of around your face, rather than full-on breathing, literally breathing water. As you break the surface, you look around and you see much more of the lake now that the sun has risen. It's huge. So large, in fact, that you have trouble seeing the edges of it on to the east or to the west of you, or indeed to the north of you. Though you do see, you don't see the edge of the water, but you do see what looks like hills to the north of you. So you know that there is an end, and if the ancient map, if the maps you guys have looked at are to be trusted, the lake is supposed to be wider, sort of east-west, than it is tall north-south, which makes sense. But you see no figures around the edges of this lake. You see no movement of any creatures from the gravel barrens. It's quiet.
With sunrise, we don't see the city again.
When the sun rises, yeah. So with the sunrise, what you do see, what Bacchio would see, is that shining metal, sort of metallic, reflective, like thing in the distance. Bacchio does see it. It looks much bigger now that you guys are closer to it, and he can tell that it looks like it's in the water. like on the horizon as you come to the surface, Bacchio, you see this what previously had been maybe a couple inches on the horizon now looks like a pretty good sized thing, still far off, but still reflective, more so now in the morning light, in the midday light. It looks as though it's no longer on the horizon, but sort of crosses the horizon, meaning it's closer to you, and the water goes to the horizon line, so it must be in the water. Initially, you had thought that it was on the far side of the water, but now
I'm gonna pop my head back down, relay this information, and then dash a couple times, and then pop my head up and see if we can stay closer, and then dash back.
Okay. It's hard to tell. Even at a dash, you move, even quick as you are, you move 120, maybe 200 feet, and then you dash back. It doesn't seem to change that much in that short distance, but in the couple hours that you guys have been moving, it certainly has gotten closer, for sure.
Oops. As Dory said, just keep swimming. On the surface, I don't think we should go back down again, though. It seems like a bad idea.
How long have we been swimming on the surface? Or in general? How long since we dove in?
I mean, I guess it's up to you guys, really. I mean, if you guys... I don't want to sort of force you one way or the other, but if you think you would have sort of done a little bit down to the bottom and then sort of seeing different creatures, and as it got deeper, wanting to stay away from the darkness, if you think you would have gone back up to the surface, I think you guys have probably been swimming for a couple hours now total. How much of that is at the surface is up to you guys.
I guess I'm asking because I am wondering how resting is going to work. Are we going to have to find land to rest on? Can we keep our caps of water breathing on and rest at the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah, you guys can sleep with your caps of water breathing on, as long as you don't lose your, as long as you guys don't lose your items. You guys are fine to literally sleep underwater. You can breathe just fine there, and you guys are good to go.
Okay. Well, that sounds kind of horrifying, but good to know.
We're just like otters, but underneath the sea. We're all got arms lengths, That's what we're doing. We're all linked like otters. One of us is staying awake. Come on. We're all patting our bellies, playing with our favorite stones.
Aww. Okay, since we don't have to worry about staying close to land or anything, I guess we just keep going towards the city.
Okay.
Every time I get hungry, I stab this fish. Every time I get thirsty, I use create water to create some fresh water. Let me provide for you, my family.
That's amazing. Bacchio, I'll have you roll a couple of attack rolls for me.
Oh, come on. I got 200 speed.
Oh, that's right.
Fine.
You are fast.
Yeah. No fish is faster than me right now.
I don't know about that.
Alright, I'll give you swordfish, but not some tuna. Alright, I'll roll attack rolls. How well fed are we? Let's find out. You ready?
Yeah, roll. Give me 3.
I'll give me 3. This goes to my tally of fishing for the team, so. This one's gonna be 18.
Okay.
One's gonna be 22. One's gonna be 25.
Wow, you got some good fish.
I provide.
Yeah, the third one you guys get is actually like a nice, kind of like a trout, good-sized trout, and it is. If you want to eat it raw, it's fresh and it's pretty good.
If someone doesn't, I go.
Sushi was invented in this world.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
Bacchio did open a restaurant, right?
He did open a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
guys hit like 20th level, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna live right next to the restaurant, and he's gonna like teleport down to this lake and like catch fresh fish and teleport back and be like, haha, it's from halfway around the world. Bacchio Express.
If I were to do a rope trick and open up an extra dimensional space underwater, would the extra dimensional space be full of water, or would it just be?
That is a question I had not considered. I'm sure it has something in there about like, you know, you can allow like what types of like which creatures can access it, right? Like you can allow some creatures and bar other creatures.
I don't think so. I think it's really just you have a rope that someone can climb up into.
Okay.
An extra dimensional space can be reached by climbing to the top of the rope. I mean, medium or small creatures.
Yeah, I would say that. You know, you could create the extra dimensional space to have whatever sort of. I mean, normally it would just be it's just an empty space filled with air, or I guess probably more explicitly. It's an extra dimensional space filled with nothing, and then you guys access it, and when you go into it, air also goes into it. So I would say that water probably goes into it as well.
Oh.
When you open it, it's
interesting.
go into like whatever's there is gonna go into it.
So okay.
I think that's what I'm gonna say for right now. But I'm gonna see if someone has a compelling argument on. I mean, I don't know. If you think it should operate differently, I'm totally open to homebrewing it the way that we think it makes the most sense.
In case it ever comes up, though, are you saying that that it's a vacuum until we go into it?
Ooh, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. It opens up too many interesting possibilities.
Okay. Well, if we decide to do that, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah. Let's.
And I'm weighing the amount I want to eat raw fish versus the amount that I want to use a spot on creating a dry space to cook fish. So.
I would say, let's see here. Yeah, let me think about it. Give me one moment. Yeah. Go ahead. What are you gonna say, Tyron? Do you know that about yourself, or is this how you find out? How serious is this? Can you talk instead of messaging so that the recording is a little easier for people to?
Sorry, I was trying to save my phone battery, so I'm like hopping back and forth. I don't know. I was thinking either I would kind of already know, or maybe we could just have it that I find out in the way that is not good, and my body reacts and is like, oh, I can't eat fish, so.
How do you want me to? How serious is this allergy? Are you going into anaphylactic shock right now?
You know what? Let's say yes.
You're gonna say yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no idea how to deal with that.
Roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
If I actually roll like a 3, okay.
Don't roll less than a 5.
Oh no! Wow. Same thing. Dirty 22.
Okay. You eat a little bit of it, and you do feel it's like your throat gets itchy and starts to close a little bit, and like you stop eating it and are able to sort of will yourself and sort of magically intervene. But yeah, you shouldn't eat any more of that. That's not. Nope.
I guess maybe my character gets gas in the water.
Okay, do we have a sense, maybe you said this already, how far are we from the city?
Looks like at the pace you guys are traveling, probably looks like, at least from the spire-looking thing sticking out of the water, probably day and a half swimming.
Okay. Well, I guess we should get swimming then, or continue swimming, I guess.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. What can we do here? Some.
Okay. One moment, please. Aha. Okay. Can I get, as you guys are proceeding, can I get a perception check? From, I'll say, whoever's keeping an eye
23.
out. Okay, 23. I was gonna say 2 of you can roll, in case you roll higher, or in case somebody gets even higher than that.
I have a +6 to perception.
Or you can roll with advantage if whoever's helping you wants to just help you and let you roll twice instead.
Or is it better than 1?
It is impossible for me to get a higher number than 23, so I say give advantage.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. 23.
Okay. 23 is fantastic. What was I just looking at? Right. On a 23, you are looking around, doing your sort of loops around the party, and the group of them, or are you pulling them, Bacchio?
We're on the surface now, right? We're like close to the surface. We're just like
Close to
right
the
beneath it.
surface. Yeah.
I pull them for a little while and then do a little loop, pull them for a little while, loop, pull them for a little while, loop.
As you're pulling them, you're sort of looking downwards, and you do see, you register it immediately, because it looks like the thing that Nat saw earlier, and it's swimming across the bottom, and it looks like it's like swims for a little bit, and then sort of looks like it's trying to like hide, and then it'll like swim sort of diagonally into like a kelp forest, and then you can see from above, you can sort of see the kelp move where it is, and then it swims quickly to like another sort of shadier area, and
I pace it. I stay right above it. Let it know that it's been seen.
Okay. You rolled a 23.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna let you know it just rolled, because it has advantage to hide in aquatic environments, and it just rolled a 22. So you still see it. You keep eyes on this thing, and you see that it is hiding, and it thinks that it is hidden from you, and it is following you guys.
It's not attacked us yet, though, right?
Nope, it's just it sees you, and from its perspective, you guys look like a pretty good-sized thing. With a 23 perception, Bacchio, you see that this creature, when it swims quickly, it is almost as fast as you are.
How far would you say away it is?
It's probably
Is it within 60 feet?
No. It's probably about 200 feet down, maybe 150 feet
Okay.
down. The lake.
Hey, DM.
It's deep. You also see based on like how deep it is and how this thing is sort of swimming through, and you have incredibly high perception, right? And you're looking out, and the two of you now are several of you are keeping eyes on this thing. You lose it occasionally, but you find it again as it's on the ground on the bottom. This thing is probably like 20-25 feet long.
How do you feel, DM, about the mechanics of sound being amplified underwater akin to a depth charge?
I'm here for it. Let's make
Just
some
saying,
funny business.
the spell Shatter is purely sound-based.
It is.
And a depth charge is merely just an explosion of vibrations underwater that are amplified.
I like it. I like where this is going.
Concentrated spell sound could potentially provide more damage than written, given the acoustic environment that is water.
I would get behind that. I'd give it like disadvantage on the saving throw or increased damage.
Cool. I'm gonna ready an action to cast Shatter when that thing comes close, if it does come close.
Okay.
A little death charge by it.
All right. I love it.
Have
Have you told any of us about this? Do we know that this is going on?
I don't think I'd scare some of you. Sorry. I think it would scare some of you. I would definitely just... I think I'd make eye contact with you. First mate speak. No, heads up. Danger. Beware.
Okay, I am going to ready an action to shoot it with a crossbow, but can I wait to draw my crossbow until right before? Or is that 2 action?
Okay. I'll totally allow you to do that. Mm-hmm. Especially since you're preparing. Okay. Nalikos doesn't... I was going to see if Nalikos notices you guys sort of doing this. He's pretty oblivious to this right now. And I guess I'll roll for Sig as well. Sig would see it. And sort of you see him get ready. He's got some things that he can do as well if this thing decides to attack. Let's see here. I'm gonna roll. Actually, I'll have you guys roll. Can I have someone roll a D8, please?
I got a 3. Oh, I didn't see your roll until after I said that. My bad.
Sorry, I was muted. I got a 7.
Okay. Would you guys like the 7 or would you guys like the 3?
I'm wondering if we can add them together and have it be 10 out of 8.
You can do that if you want. I'll allow it.
I'm gonna go with the 7 if that's okay with everyone. Unless anyone objects and wants to take the 3.
I vote for the 10.
Vote for the 10?
I vote for the 10.
Okay.
I second the 10.
10 out of 8. As it turns out, this thing is hungry. And it has decided that the time for waiting and stalking what looks like a giant surface swimming fish as you guys all trail off together. Time for waiting and stalking is gone. And Bacchio, you see in the mind of this creature, and you see as it breaks suddenly from the darkness below and makes a break basically straight up towards you guys as you guys have been. It's been sort of tracking underneath you. You see as it gets about 100 feet away, you see it has at first you think it might be a sea serpent, but as it gets closer, you see thick scales on a large mouth on what looks like an enormous crocodile-looking creature. It's got 2 arms and 2 legs, all 4 of its limbs tucked very close to its body as its tail sort of does its serpentine thing, pushing it in a not directly up, but in a sort of loose spiral as it does a sort of loop, and it's going to come around to come upwards right at you guys. As it does this, you guys see it coming about 150 feet off. It thought it was hidden, and it still thinks it is from you. But it does, it's able to close 150 feet in 2 rounds. This thing's fast. In fact, it closes in a single round. It will close to within 30 feet of you guys. Because it moves 60 feet.
I mean, then when it hits that 60 range, shadow goes off.
All right. When it comes within 60 feet as it's dashing towards you, all of you are able to take a round at this thing as it charges towards you. So, Val, I think you've got a crossbow bolt, and to the extent that I think other people are prepared for things, Nalikos doesn't know what's going on, so he's not prepared anything. But Sig does, and he'll take a shot, I think, with his. What has he got that makes sense? I'll look at that. He'll go last as I figure that out. Shatter. Hit me with the shatter. 60-foot range.
Constitution 14 check, please.
Would you like? What kind of check is it?
Constitution.
Okay. Would you like more damage, or would you like him to have disadvantage on the saving throw?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what statistically is better. So for me, just mechanically, I think it should be increased damage based on the underwater element.
Okay. What's the damage normally?
It is normally 3d8.
Okay. It's normally 3d8. What do you? I don't think it should be doubled, but we think it should be more.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more.
Let's do. Yeah, let's do 2 extra. We'll bump it up to 5. I like it.
Ooh. Roll your con save.
Flip back to. I have too many things open. Where is the stat block of the thing that I want? Here it is. Great. Con save. Well, it rolled a natural 1, so there's that.
Ooh, 5d8. Headed that thing's
5d8
way.
for me.
Hot diggity dog damn.
Yeah.
5. Roll. Alright, the best and the worst. 18 damage.
That's 5d8. 18?
18
Sweet.
damage.
Very nice. It was a hefty chunk of damage. Val, your crossbow bolt.
Yeah. Okay. Does a 22 hit?
Yes.
Okay. That is 11 points of damage.
Okay. Nice.
How hardy does this thing look?
You guys just did 29 points of damage to it, and it is barreling straight forward. This thing's about 25 feet long, and as the crossbow bolt sticks into the side of it, it looks armored in scales and large and hungry.
Okay, good to know. That's my turn.
Nat, Tim, Tyron?
Yeah, how far away is it at this point?
At the end, it will be about 30 feet from you. So it closed 120 feet in a round as it dashes towards you.
Okay, I will also attempt a longbow hit.
Okay.
Yeah, so while it's... Dang it! Natural 1.
Let's cross. Okay. Sig is also going to make one here. He rolls okay. I think his bonus to hit is probably +6, like most of you. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's +7. Amazing. He hits with the longbow and will do... Oh, max damage. 8 plus 4 is 12. Okay. He hits Nat. You miss with your longbow. Do you get 1 attack or 2 attacks with the longbow, Nat?
Oh, I get 2.
Nice.
Always get
Go
2
again.
per action.
Yeah.
So that is a 14 hit.
14 does not hit. Fortunately, it collides. The force of the water slowing it down slightly, and then the hide of this crocodilian creature being too tough for the arrow. Anybody else prepared things?
I'm gonna send my magic missiles.
Go for it.
So those just automatically hit, right?
They cannot miss. You're casting your once a day.
Yeah. Which is
Can you
4.
give us-
It's 4.
Yeah. It should be 2 of them, I think.
Okay, 2 darts. It's just confusing because I have 4 uses technically of it.
Oh, interesting.
It's just like weird how it showed up, so I just clicked out that I used all 4 uses. I wasn't sure if that's because I had 4 darts or
No,
why
that's
was
that's an error in me interacting with their game design and their like custom spell interface. That's an error on my part. It should be 2 darts, and each dart should do. You're doing the focused, right? The focused magic missile.
Yep.
It should be 2 darts, and each dart should do 1d4 plus 4. So it does more damage than a normal magic missile, but there's only 2 instead of 3.
I'm hitting for 14. And I like to imagine he does. I do the finger guns. On my side. Just
What?
1 sec. I will. Yeah, I do the finger guns. It's just like one of those like. Doo! Yeah.
14 points of damage. Nice.
14 points.
2 darts collide into the side of this thing, and at first it looks like light, but as the light sort of dissipates from Tim's finger guns, there's a bit of a wound and a little bit of sanguine fluid coming from the 2 little wounds on the side of this creature's hide. Tyron?
Actually, I have a quick thought. Could I run it by you in a channel for just a second?
What is it? Or message it to me, I guess. Or are you want me to hop into a different channel?
Sure, let's do it for 1 second.
Okay, sure. What's up?
Hello.
Yeah, what's up? What you got?
Okay, hear me now?
Yeah, what's up?
Alright, so I was gonna see, would it be possible if I can get the creature to eat me so then I can attack it from the inside?
You can certainly swim to it, yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Okay. Alright, sure. Alright. Tyron, what are you doing with your preparation?
I would like
Prepared
to
action.
swim to it.
You're gonna what?
Swim to it.
Sorry, I can't hear you. What'd you say?
Okay, I was...
Oh, okay. You swim to it. All right. You are able to, if you want, close the entire distance. If you dash to it, you can close the entire distance to this creature. Swim 30 feet down. And okay, so you're right in front of it. It's big. Okay. And Nalikos kind of sees what's going on now and is now prepped for some stuff. Let's see here. Since this is just you guys and it, and you guys saw it coming, we'll go in order of your initiative bonus. So how many of you have like a plus bonus to initiative? I think Sig's got a huge bonus. Nat, what's your plus initiative bonus?
+3.
+3. Okay. All right. Its bonus is only a +1. So anybody, if you've got a +1 or if you got higher than a +1 initiative bonus, you guys will go before this crocodile. And if you've got a +0 or lower, then you will go after it. And then we'll just sort of do it that way, if that's all right with you guys, to simplify slightly. Sound good? Amazing. So, it used its action to close most of the distance. You guys hit it with a bunch of spells, a depth charge, arrows, magic missiles, and Tyron swam to it. At the top of the initiative order will be Sig and Nalikos. So Sig's going to take another longbow shot at it at disadvantage through the water. Double 12s. So that hits. And that does another, oh my god, a lot of damage. And because Tyron is in front of it, 12, 14, 15, 20 points of damage in total. That was a big hit because of sneak attack. As Tyron, you are now engaged with this creature. The arrow partially obscured as you get in this creature's face. The arrow comes from right over your shoulder and sinks into the side of its shoulder, right where its like shoulder would be, the arm connecting to the head of this crocodile. Nalikos is also going to take 2 Eldritch Blasts on this thing. They both impact the creature and do no damage as he fails to meet its armor class. The armor of this armored hide being too thick. +3, I think. Does anybody have higher than a +3 to initiative? So I guess who goes next? I think it's Nat.
Yeah, mine was +3.
Okay. All right. You have a +3 as well, Tyron?
I also have a +3.
Oh, all 3 of you going at the same time. Who has the highest dex? Is it because you all have the same dex? Is that what's going on?
I think that's probably what's going on.
Okay.
My
Well, I'll
dex
let you guys
is...
decide who goes when. Or you can roll for it.
Happy to go last. Not too worried about it.
Okay.
I'll go if no one else wants to.
Go for it. So we'll do...
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do Val, then Tyron, then Nat.
I am going to... I'm like morbidly curious how this is down. I'm going to use Shocking Grasp on it.
Okay. You gotta swim to it down there.
Yeah, but he's within 30 feet of me, right?
Yeah, your movement is half when you're swimming.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Can I use these like boots of increased speed or whatever I have? Those don't apply to swim speed, do they?
I'll totally allow it. I think that makes tons of sense.
Okay, fine.
Boots of extra kicking.
So, boots of extra kicking. Okay, so I do that. I get over to this guy. I use my bonus action to
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna try Shocking Grasp against him. Does a 27 hit?
Yeah, that hits. Roll again in case you get a natural 20, because Shocking Grasp, this thing is totally underwater.
Okay. No, I didn't get a natural 20. I got a 26. Is that what I said last time?
Yeah, 27
I might
was
have
last
gotten
time.
Okay, so I'll take the 27, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is 12 plus 5, 17 points of damage, of electrical shocking damage.
I think that's awesome. 17, you said?
Yes.
Amazing. Wow.
And then I might use the rest of my move action to get a little further away from this thing.
Okay, you move towards it, Shocking Grasp, and then you move back a little bit, and even though you back up about like 10 feet or so, it doesn't actually make an opportunity attack against you because you're still in its range. It's got a pretty long range.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me check. I think Shocking Grasp has... Oh, okay. It can't take reactions at the start of its next turn anyways.
Perfect. Well, it can't do it anyways.
Okay.
That works. That
That's
works
my turn.
super well. All right, Tyron.
Okay, I don't know. I guess I'm going to Tail of Jonah this thing, so that's what's gonna happen.
Is that when it eats you? I'm
Yes.
not that biblical. Okay.
Okay. You're gonna try to get it to eat you?
Yes, so I can attack it from the inside.
Okay. Make are you just gonna like allow yourself to get chomped?
If there's a way I can get chomped without losing hit points or too many. Yes.
You look at this creature, 25 feet or so in length. Its jaws, probably 4 feet in length, and about 2 feet wide, with a huge, long row of fangs, each of which are between 2 and 3 inches. Some of them towards the back, a little shorter. Some of them towards the front, even longer. It's going to be hard to get swallowed by this thing without getting hit by those teeth.
Could I trick it so that, like, it opens its mouth and then like shoot a fireball into it?
You can hold your action until it opens its mouth. It does look like it's relatively interested in attacking you, so you think it's pretty likely it's gonna chomp you next. So you can hold your action until it opens its jaws.
So that's what I'd like to do.
Okay. You would know that fire is not going to be terribly effective underwater.
Okay, hold on. Well, because I was thinking if it's gonna, Oh, what if? Interesting. What if I enlarge it? Would that be even more effective to do the Tail of Jonah, or is that not going to help?
If you make it larger, it will have an easier time swallowing you.
Okay. I might want to do that.
Okay. You enlarge it, and this 25-foot crocodile doubles in size. Okay.
Okay.
That's your action, right?
Yes.
Great. It is a little confused because from its perspective, its prey has gotten now a lot smaller, but it's still hungry, so it's still gonna go for it. It is, however, Nat's turn for the crocodile.
So, what about magic fire underwater? Such as a burning whip.
Fire in general is just gonna have, magic or otherwise, is gonna have a tough time underwater. I believe that the way it is written, Creatures or objects that are fully immersed in water have resistance to fire damage. So, in general,
Got it.
half damage. And that applies to you guys as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. In that case then, since it's all up in our business,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm going to go get striking distance to it
Okay.
and try and do some spear hits. So the first
for it.
one is a 22.
Yeah, that hits.
Great. That will be 10 damage.
Okay.
And then 14 to hit. That misses, right?
14 misses. You clang into the side of its hide, and its scales are too thick.
Okay. And then I will bonus action. Natural 20 plus 6, 26 for an unarmed strike.
Whew, that definitely will do it.
Ouch.
And that will be 8 damage.
8 damage. This thing has taken... You guys have pummeled a ton of damage into this thing. Seeing it coming was very important. Nice job, Bacchio. You guys, just to be clear, between the prep round and now initiative, all of you reacting faster than it does because of your initiative bonus, have done 110 points of damage to this thing so far. Just if anybody's
It
keeping
still
track,
looks like unaffected, right?
No. At this point, it has several wounds, and you see that this creature looks bloodied, and it looks hurt. You guys have done a ton of damage to it.
I haven't told you guys a delicacy I can make are gator bites.
All right. Does anybody have a +2 to initiative? Lovely. It's my favorite because now it's the crocodile's turn. And
Did they +1 get to go before it as well?
no, unfortunately not. It's got a plus. It's got a +2, so +1 and lower is going to go after it. Sorry. My apologies. It will make several strikes. First, it sort of turns a little bit on its side and will make a swat with its claw at you, Nat. Does a that's a 24 to hit. That's very high. It
Definitely does.
Okay. You take 17 points of slashing damage as its enormous claws swat over at you, and you're bludgeoned slightly and slashed as these giant claws sort of crash through you. Actually, no, sorry, I did that math wrong. Not 17. 12 points of slashing damage. My bad.
Got it.
12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, a little better. The second strike, as it slashes over to one side, its tail comes flying forward towards Val. Does a I think that also hits. It has a huge bonus to hit. That's a 21. I think that hits.
That hits.
Val, I need you to make a strength saving throw. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Strength saving throw.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm so big and strong. That's a 7.
That's a 7. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. Sorry. It's enlarged, so one moment. Because of enlarge, Nat, you take an additional 1 point of slashing damage, and Val, you take an additional 3 points of bludgeoning damage because this thing is bigger now.
Okay, so it's 7 points total?
7 points total. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
And as its tail hits you, it hits it, and it pushes you along the end and like flicks you at the end, and it pushes you some like 40 feet away from it. The tail itself is like it's 15 feet long, and as you slide, some of the damage comes from the impact, and some of it from just how rough the scales are as it like comes down you and basically just catapults you. So it pushes you 40 feet away from it as it tail smacks you.
I understand that this probably hurts, but is it in any way cool? Because the way you're describing it does kind of fun.
I mean, you kind of surf the tail for a second, but it does like fling you pretty far.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah. Last but not least, we're gonna have a real Jonah and the Whale moment here because that's a natural 20. Tyron. Hi.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Okay. First things first. You take 6, 8, 11, 17, 20, 25, 27 points of piercing damage.
Ew.
You are grappled in its jaws. You are restrained as it has you in its mouth, and next turn it will swallow you. Oh, sorry, not 27. 20. Oh, because of enlarge, 31 points of damage in total. Yeah, you are grappled and restrained in its jaws. That's its turn.
Can I? Oh, I was gonna say. I guess I can't do anything. All right.
Oh, you had your action. Oh, you didn't hold your action because you cast enlarge, right?
Well, I thought I had. Yeah. Right. Okay. As I was gonna be like, oh, could I just kind of fall into it and and not have that cost anything? But I guess not. Okay.
I mean,
because it's like I'm not resisting.
I mean, you're not resisting, but it wants to eat you. It is trying to hurt you. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess I'll say, how do I, if you're trying to do this, you would probably, and you did the enlarge specifically for this purpose, I would say that, yeah, I'll allow that to negate the natural 20, and you were still grappled and restrained, so instead of 31, it would have been roughly half that, so that would be 16. Or 15, rounded down, so 15 points instead of 31. So you only take 15, but you're grappled and restrained. Unfortunately, even though it was just 15 points, you need to make a concentration check on enlarge reduce.
Dirty 25.
Dirty 25 on your concentration check. Yeah, you're fine. You hold the spell. You sort of anticipated this happening, and you're good.
My mental fortitude is unlike any other.
Your mental fortitude is very strong. Okay. So, okay. Tim, I believe it is your turn.
It's
And then
Tim's
Bacchio.
turn. Tim will cast Storm Sphere.
I'm sorry, what? You're gonna get. I love it. Storm Sphere?
Quick question. Is lightning... How does that affect underwater?
Lightning is very effective underwater.
Cool. Cool. So, let's...
Oh, right.
Start
So you guys
off-
are 7th level. You have 4th level spells now.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I do.
I love this. I will give.
Did it not stay with not a fourth spell? Like, I couldn't not use a fourth level spell.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course, it's a must. Okay.
Oh. Strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. Okay. We'll buff the lightning damage by. Sorry.
This initial one is bludgeoning damage.
The initial one is. Oh, I see. Okay, we'll get to the lightning damage later then.
We're not there yet.
Strength save is it rolls 21. This creature is very strong.
It passes that. Let's see.
Actually,
He's in difficult terrain.
Okay.
It doesn't take half damage if it fails. Does it take half damage? Do you know?
I don't think it takes any damage if it doesn't say half. So
Okay,
if
cool.
it succeeds, then it doesn't take any damage. But it is in difficult terrain.
Difficult terrain, and also disadvantage on wisdom check. Made to listening.
Oh, I love that.
So I'm going to use my bonus action now that goes with this to shock it.
I love it.
And so I will do a spell, which is 20, dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits. You have advantage on it, just in case you need it.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Another dirty. I lied. The first one's an 18, then the second one was a dirty 20. No, it's 22. I lied. Plus 6, not plus 4. I don't know how to do numbers.
Roll some damage. Roll some damage.
Cool. So it's normally 4d6. What are the effects of us being underwater?
I'll do the same I did to Bacchio, which was to add 2 dice to it. So we'll do 66.
Cool. 16 damage.
Zap.
Yeah, and I can concentrate for up to a minute. Can I do other spells as I'm concentrating?
Yeah, they just can't be concentration spells, so you can cast whatever you want as an action, as long as it's not concentration.
Cool. It says I can concentrate and deal more lightning strikes at it in the future, but I just wasn't sure how exactly that worked.
Yeah, you just keep concentrating, you can keep using your bonus action to keep zapping things.
Perfect.
Important. 20-foot radius sphere. You can position this so that it doesn't hit any of your allies. I assume that's what you do. The only person who's ironically in, who would be at risk, is actually protected by the fact that he's in the jaws of this thing, is Tyron. And Tyron can't move anyways, so there will be no damage and no saving throw for him either.
Is the crocodile acting like Faraday cage for him?
Basically, yeah. You see, as it zaps a little bit, things of lightning, Tyron, you see one of them jump from a tooth to another tooth, but it doesn't actually, it tingles you, and it doesn't do any damage to you. Bacchio.
How's it currently looking?
It looks hurt. Looks bloodied.
Alright, well, I'm gonna cast another shatter at it.
Sweet. It will make
Or-
its save.
Oh, I'm
and-
gonna cast a guiding bolt. Sorry.
Okay, go for it.
One more heart part of there. Those two. Uh, 19 hit.
Yeah, that hits.
So 4d6. Be 15 points of damage.
Okay.
The next attack roll after it is going to be have advantage.
15 points, you said? Yeah, great.
Yep.
Okay. Next attack roll has advantage. Anything else on your turn, Bacchio?
That is it from me.
Blam! All right. This creature looks hurt, and it has a quarry, and you see it start to roll, start to sort of swim and like position itself to start to roll, and you see it is getting ready to, on its next turn, it will swallow Tyron. We'll have Sig go next. Let's see if he can, with advantage, or I guess advantage will counteract his disadvantage on his bow. That does not hit. 2 Eldritch Blasts from Nalikos. Only 1 hits. And does... Oh, great. Some additional, 10 points of damage. That's their turn. And then I think the next one is the 3 of you. It's Nat. Unless I'm skipping someone, it's Nat, Val, and Tyron.
Okay. Should I go first, or does anyone else want to instead? Or okay. I am pretty far away from it, so I am going to use my full movement to move towards it. I think I can get 30 feet closer.
Okay.
Because it's twice my movement, but my movement is halved.
Yeah.
But I'm still not within.
You're still 10 feet away because it pushed you 30 feet back.
So I am going to cast Ray of Sickness.
Ooh. What does that do?
Well, okay, does a 24 hit? Because if it doesn't... Okay. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything. A ray of sickening greenish energy lashes out towards a creature within range. Make a spell attack against a target. On a hit, the target takes 2d8 poison damage and must make a con save. So, have a con save from that guy.
A lot over to big creature. Big opponents to con. 25.
No. Okay, well, that passes, but he does take 7 damage.
Okay. Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Tyron? You feel yourself grappled and restrained in this creature's jaws.
I would like to ready a fireball for when it's his turn, so then I can do what I plan.
Okay. You ready a fireball. Any bonus action? Oh, I guess you can't move, so any bonus action?
I can't move, yeah, so nothing.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Nat, your turn.
Okay, we're gonna do similar stuff as last time. The first one, dang, 11 doesn't hit. Dang, 10 also doesn't hit. D&D Beyond let me down today, except again on my unarmed strike, another natural 20.
Love the crits. Amazing.
Wow. I just like put away my spear at this point. Okay. That's a 7 damage.
Okay. It's definitely looking hurt at this point. As you pummel into it and then punch, you connect. Tyron, what is your strength modifier? Is it plus? What is it? +2, +1, +3?
Strength is Plus one.
Plus one. Okay. Okay. You take 14 points of piercing damage as it crushes you, and then you guys see its jaws sort of crunch and then open as it goes forward to swallow, and it swallows you. You are swallowed by the creature.
All right.
Fireball?
Yes. Oh wait, actually, instead, no, hold on. I want to change it to a dragon's breath and have lightning instead.
Okay, you cast Dragon's Breath on yourself, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you lose enlarge reduce, which is fine. But the walls around, the stomach walls around you become much smaller as you cast Dragon Breath on yourself.
Yes.
Okay. And I think you usually make an attack as part of casting that, right?
Yep. I'm trying to get there.
Okay.
Oh, why is this not scrolling? Oh, 17 points of damage.
17 points of lightning damage?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Do I take all that too, or?
You do not. You would have if it had been a fireball or something in an area like that, but with the lightning, you're able to direct it. It will make a Constitution save. It makes its Constitution save. You stay swallowed. Okay. Tim and Bacchio. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. It still has the rest of its turn. It crunched and swallowed you. It still has the rest of its turn. My bad. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. It will make Nat, you're close to it. It's gonna swat at you with its tail. Oops, that's off the table. Come on. Natural 1. How do you dodge?
Ooh. I feel like it would be full Matrix style, but you know how like in the Matrix in that scene they like show like these almost like clear lines behind the bullets? I think that would just be water movement.
The tail right above you as you lean backwards. Do you do a backflip or do you just like Matrix style come back forward afterwards?
I think I would, full 360 it because I'm in the water.
Full 360. And those of you, Bacchio and the others, as you see this, you see Nat times it perfectly as the tail swings by, the current of water ahead of the tail pushing her away. She does a backflip, and as the tail passes and the water behind it pulls her forward again a couple feet as you feel yourself pushed away and pulled forward as the tail goes by, and you dodge completely.
Technically, I have to come back in that direction. Am I allowed to just try and grab it as it just settles back to its normal position?
Yeah, I love it. Make an attack roll, like an unarmed strike for a grapple if you want to grapple it and hold on to it.
Yeah, why not? Dang it. It hovered on the 17 for a second. 13.
Okay. You go to grab it, and this creature's powerful, and the tail moves quickly, and its scales are a little too slick. You can't quite get a hold on it. As it goes by, it sort of swats at you, and then it will turn and swim downwards. It'll make another swat against you, Val, as it passes you by. And you'll get an opportunity attack as it swims past you. Does a 16 hit you, Val?
No, not.
Okay. Do you parry or dodge?
I guess I parry. I want
Love
to.
it.
I get the an opportunity attack.
You do.
Okay, I'm gonna. Can it be a cantrip? Actually, I've actually never been in the position in this campaign of having a.
Technically, no. You need a
Okay.
warcaster. You need a feat to do that.
Okay,
So
I will
unfortunately not.
shoot my crossbow at it
Go
again
for it.
then.
Yeah.
And 23 hits.
Yeah, 23 hits.
Okay, that is 5 points of damage.
Okay, it is looking very hurt, which is why it is running. It does, however, move at a speed. Its speed swimming is the same as Bacchio's. It is 60 feet, and this thing takes off down. Tyron.
Yes.
There's only a couple people who can help you now. Nalikos continues shooting Eldritch Blasts. Unimpeded and magical, as they are magical, they are unimpeded by the water. He will shoot some to try to kill this thing. Anybody else who has things, it is at least 60 feet away. It was like it went 60 feet down. So for those of you who were not right up against it, it's more than 60 feet away from you now. So Tim, I think that would make it more than 60 feet from you. Same with Bacchio, and same with the only one who is exactly 60 feet away from it is Nat, and Val is about 40 to 45 feet away from it as it swims past you down.
Is it still 60 within 60 feet of my...
It is still within 60 feet of your storm sphere, and actually, with the storm sphere being difficult terrain, it doesn't actually get that. It doesn't. It's not, doesn't get 60. So it's still. It's. I would say it's still within 60 feet of all of you because of the storm sphere. It slowed it down. I forgot about that.
Also, most of my spells are 120 feet, so...
Amazing. So you okay? So there are more people that can help you, Tyron, than I was afraid of.
There's also another person that you're forgetting about, but I will do that on my turn. So.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. This thing doesn't have a ton of health left, but it does have a fair bit. I was gonna say that you needed to do a certain. I was gonna tell you how much damage you needed to do before you get out, before you kill it. But even then, you're still stuck inside this thing. So, those of you who make ranged attacks, tell me what they are, and we'll go sort of in whatever order, because this thing is running for its life.
I'm gonna try and vortex warp it.
You vortex warp it?
Back. I'm gonna try to. It's a con save, so it's a long shot, but yeah,
Amazing.
that's my plan.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, do it. We'll do that first.
Okay, it needs to succeed on the con save of 16.
I'm afraid
higher.
it does. Its Constitution bonus is very high. This thing is its bonus is like a +9, so it definitely succeeds.
Okay, well, that was the coolest thing I could think of to do. You guys are up.
Sorry. I love that idea. Also, because if it had worked, it would have teleported it, and it would have left Tyron.
Oh, that would have been very cool.
Yeah, I
okay.
wish it would have worked. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm
Tim.
gonna start off with the bonus action. So I can start with the bonus action, yeah?
Yeah, totally.
Cool, I'll start off with my bonus action. And the Storm Sphere is gonna strike him. Does a 23 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. That is going to be
Same
I get
damage. Yeah.
same thing as last time.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be 30.
30?
Yeah. That was way better rolling than last time.
How do you want to do this?
Hey.
I'm gonna be like, oh, Tyron, you idiot. And then just
I love it. Tyron. At the top of your turn, you feel this creature kind of go limp around you, but you are still stuck in it. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Hmm. 10.
Okay. Okay. It is your turn. You did not succeed on this, and sorry, wrong thing. Roll that. It's unfortunate that you did not succeed. You are in this thing's stomach, and its stomach is incredibly corrosive. And not only do many of the non-magical things that you have start to sizzle, you see little pockmarks in the sides of your clothing and your boots, but you take 34 points of acid damage.
Wait, say that again? 34 of acid?
34 points of acid damage.
Alright.
I need you to make another Constitution saving throw for your spell, and then it'll be your turn.
That's still... that's funny. It's still going because it's a dirty 21, so...
I'm so glad. This creature is dead. You are stuck inside of it. You have an action, movement, and a bonus action. What would you like to do?
I have nothing because I'm dead right now.
No, you're not.
I'm unconscious.
No, you're not.
Yeah, 34 points of damage, that was enough to knock me out.
You have 43 hit points. Right?
I have 58 hit points in total.
Yeah, you took 15 damage, which knocks you down to 43, and you just took 34, so you should have 9 left, yeah?
Okay, well I completely mathed something wrong then. Let me make that change here.
I think,
Because
right?
I was like, hold
Someone
on.
else
That's
just
why I
did
was laughing, because I was
15.
like, I thought it was yeah.
Yeah, sorry, 58 minus 15 is 43, right? Yeah, and then minus 34 is 9.
Let me do this one, 9, and then I will make
Yeah,
that
ironic
change.
that the... Yeah. Don't get
So
the
that's
order
why
of
I
those
was,
two
yeah,
wrong.
because I was like, I'm unconscious and my spell is still holding me out. So, okay.
You have movement, action,
In this
bonus
instance,
action.
so basically, I would like to try to utilize divine intervention if I can. Am I going to be in the mind space to be able to do that?
You tell me.
Okay, well, I would like to. So basically, I send a quick prayer to my deity, and then I say, in exchange for getting out of this, I will collect all of the knowledge that they desire, and hope that's okay.
Okay. You... roll a religion check for me, please.
Don't fail me now.
Or-
6.
I was gonna say, or persuasion. What's your persuasion bonus?
Plus 6.
So it would have been a... If it had been persuasion, it would have been a what? Doesn't matter. It's fine. 6 on religion. Okay. It's quiet after this thing dies, and even the lightning, as this storm sphere is swirling, doesn't actually make that much noise underwater. And even the lightning, there isn't thunder associated with it, so it doesn't actually like. It just. And you see it arc across this creature as Tim directs his storm sphere, and the creature stops, sort of, and its arms sort of float out sideways as it's dead. And then a second burst of lightning busts out of the side of this creature, around its midsection and its stomach, and with your dragon breath, Tyron, and a little help from the source of your magic, and a quick thinking prayer, you use your lightning to blast a hole in the side of the stomach of this creature, and you use your movement to crawl your way out.
Awesome.
You are battered, and much of your non-magical stuff has taken quite a beating from the acid damage that you have. And in fact, like, one of the daggers that you have is like ruined, basically. And there's little holes in a lot of your clothing. You are, however, able to. I was looking through your inventory, Tyron. You definitely need to get your hat of water breathing and put it in there and equip and attune to it on your stuff, by the way, because right now you don't have it. But you are able to bust out of the side of this creature, and there is now a large and growing cloud of dark purple, sanguine blood colored water surrounding the carcass of this creature as it's bleeding and sinking to the floor of the lake. What would you guys like to do? Gator bites?
We
Gator
should
bites,
probably, like,
and find some venom if there's any.
yeah. Isn't there some way to also, like, getting very far away from it? Because won't this dead carcass attract other things that want to just, eat it?
Possibly, and also I don't want to be breathing in this thing's blood, so I think we should move.
I remember saying, there's always a bigger fish.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have never heard that saying. That is a Bacchio original.
Yes.
Heard it here first. You guys get swimming?
Yes.
Okay. You get swimming, and sure enough, you do see there's some sort of shadowy figures. None quite as big as the creature you just slew, but you do see several of them come, sort of go towards the source of this blood smell, and omnivorous, as I'm sure many of the fishes in this lake are, start to feast on and recycle the carcass of this large crocodile-like creature. You guys swim, and you swim continuously, taking sort of small floating breaks here and there when you need to, but you swim for most of the afternoon, maybe 10 or 15 feet below the surface of the water to not disturb the lake's surface, but to stay as far sort of away from it as you can. And as you proceed, you start to see, as the sun is directly above you and then shifting into early and then late afternoon, you start to get much closer to this Bacchio. Periodically you're checking at this gleaming tower or spire. Sorry, one moment. As you start to get quite close to it, eventually, in the late afternoon, you see it. You see where it starts to, it is getting periodically closer, and you see where it comes out of the water. And as you dive underneath, it's hard to make out through the water eventually. You can see much farther in through the air than you can through the water, but eventually you do see sort of a faint shadow, and you see this, whatever this is sticking out of the water extends down, and now you guys are at a depth getting close to, maybe close to the center of the lake. You're certainly far from the shores. The depth down below you is probably 700-800 feet down. You guess. You can't even see that far. It's just dark. Not pitch black, but it's just murky. Shadowed. That far down. As evening comes, you still think you've got several hours, 3-4 hours of swimming to reach this spire. As you're much closer to it now than you were earlier in the day, it reaches probably 40 or 50 feet out of the water, you think? It's probably, it looks roughly, it's hard to tell if it's rectangular or circular, like a cylinder, but it does, the way that it reflects light, it's certainly angular. And you think it's probably like 10 or 15, maybe probably 15 feet across, maybe even 20 feet across. No, probably 15, but about 50 feet high, about 15 feet across at the base. As the evening comes and the sun starts to set, are you guys gonna otter float? Or are you going to try to swim somewhere, or are you gonna keep swimming into the night to try to reach this structure?
Otter float.
How well are we floating here like this? Like, how viable is it to actually can sleep and float?
I could rope some lines around us.
Yeah, that might help. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that. So floating on your back, and like trying to breathe air and float on the top is going to be very difficult, because that's basically just you guys being your normal selves. And though, like, technically, if you inhaled water, like, it wouldn't disrupt you. Like, it might, you would probably realize it. It might wake you up. If you go underwater, you guys will equilibrate probably like 40 or so feet down, just kind of floating.
I can just tie it's the heaviest thing we own. I can create a sea anchor and just have it not hit the ground beneath us, but just go to the bottom of the further currents and hold us in a relatively simple place beneath the water.
Yeah, if that works, let's do that.
Okay. All right.
Heavy otter.
No, wrong music. Why is this? What is going on here? Oh, I know what's going on. Did it again.
Will we hop over YouTube videos?
It did. I was like, this is way too tense for what's happening right now. You set a sea anchor, Bacchio. It's a bit odd, but it works. It's functional, and you guys loosely. You take some rope and you tie it in a series of these little loops that doesn't tie tightly, but you guys are sort of able to loop your arms around it and sort of have it be around your torso without being too restrictive. And in a little like a floating little halo, there are 7 of you, loosely tied together with the sea anchor underneath you, maybe 80 or so feet. Floating about 40 feet underneath the water. Sun sets, and the lake goes dark. And it's possibly the weirdest sleeping experience any of you have ever had. Are you guys taking turns taking watch?
Definitely.
What's the lighting situation? Can people without night vision see pretty well, or is it really just like a night vision situation?
It's quite dark.
Okay.
I mean, it is nighttime, and even as the moon comes up, it's not the largest moon. It's certainly not a full moon, and so what light there is, what light there is, isn't too much. So you're able to see a little bit in the surface level. You can see probably, a fair radius in every direction, and when you look down, however, your ability to see things diminishes, especially without dark vision, diminishes quite quickly, as there's no ambient light, and you can't see that. I mean, without dark vision, even with dark vision, you guys can't see that the bottom is like 700 feet beneath you.
Okay, let's pair up for watch then, keeping in mind who can see and who can't. I can take first watch if that helps.
Yeah, so it's just Bacchio and Tim that don't have dark vision, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So don't pair them up together on watch.
Yeah.
So who are the pairs?
I can go first if someone wants to go with me.
I can go.
Tim's
Cool.
gonna probably opt for one of the last ones.
Okay.
I've been swimming all day. I'm pretty tired. I can watch first and then pass out.
Okay. Bacchio, can you roll, or Val, you guys can decide. Roll a D8 for me, please.
You roll.
Okay. Wait, did you say I should roll or that you roll?
You can roll.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I can roll.
My bad.
You cut out a little bit at the beginning. Okay, a D8. That's a 3.
As you guys take your watch, is there anything you two talk about?
That's a good question. It's probably been a while since. Well, it has been a while out of character since. So I kind of lost the thread of exactly what's been on my mind. It hasn't been that long since the. How long has it been since we dealt with that? We were at that villa and we killed that tiger thing. Or no, we escaped from that tiger thing. How long has that been? Okay, so that's not I think so. I think the fact that Sig and Nat and Tim agreed to give him like a year of their lives is very much weighing heavily on my mind. But maybe like not. It's not like so much at the forefront because a little bit of time has passed. So I guess if Bacchio brings anything up, I would like be willing to talk about that. But I don't have anything in mind that I would bring up.
I'd probably mention it's been a pretty crazy couple of weeks.
Yeah, it sure has. Wait, out of character, where the hell is our boat?
You guys left
we tied it to some like fisherwoman to watch after leave.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. Anyways, yeah, it has been a crazy couple of weeks. I mean, like, with this crowd, things are always pretty crazy, but especially, I honestly don't even know what we're expecting to find.
No, I'm with you on this one, but it seems like a fun thing to do. And the boat's there, and we might find something down here that we could sell and possibly get some more money for a bigger boat, or even have to buy some cargo to ship it somewhere else. No, Tim's got an angle on this. It's a bit more magical.
That's the goal, huh? A bigger boat?
Well, no, but yes.
The dream
Here.
is just an ever-growing fleet of boats, more and more boats.
Well, because then you eventually make enough to not do anything else.
I guess
like-
that's fair.
Here, it's a bit more magical oriented, so I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
A good story is a good story.
Yeah, well, that for sure.
Don't know if Bacchio is ready to confront the fact that he blames himself for giving those people a year of their service.
I am absolutely not going to bring it up if he doesn't bring it up. Like, if he starts to, like, hint that he wants to talk about it, I'll, like, probe, but, like, I am not going to be the one to mention it.
No, still wrestling that my own interior.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's the kind of thing where, like, you know, when you have something big on your mind that you probably should mention to somebody, like, you know, talk to someone about, but like, we both don't want to talk about it, so we're sort of making space more awkwardly than we would.
In the effort to make... You're talking about the weather, is that what you said, Tim?
Yeah.
Like, so
It's been really humid lately, huh?
Surprisingly slow beneath the waters.
What were you saying, Isaac?
Nothing. I just was... I was going to say, in the effort to make small talk, is there anything that you... like a story that you would tell, or like an opinion that you would share, like I don't know if you guys are like trading hot takes because you don't want to talk anything serious. You know, like, is there anything you would tell each other or that would come up that you maybe have never shared with each other before?
This is a good question, because Bacchio knows a lot about me, despite me not having voluntarily sort of revealed a lot about myself. So I think I would be like sort of interested in like leveling the playing field by knowing more about Bacchio as a person.
Would you try to like pump me for information?
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not, or like, you know, like socially adept, so I don't know how I would do that. I think maybe I would say like, hey, a nice job catching these fish. Where did you learn to do that? And then, like, obviously that doesn't make sense to ask, because when have you been underwater catching fish with a like water breathing thing? But I am really grasping at straws here.
I feel like Bacchio would happily talk to you about how he grew up learning fish. For him, because it's an innocent thing to do. You just always catch a fish when you're sailing. So I'd reveal to you that I learned catching fish back off the back of the side of my boats and had a good time with it.
What was the biggest fish you ever caught?
I lead him real close. And I say, you know how people can cast minor illusion?
Yes.
Anyone you've ever seen who boasts about their fish, how big they've caught, subtract at least half a foot.
Huh.
And Bacchio
Interesting.
just leans back and just like doesn't say a thing after that.
Huh.
Bacchio, these fishing trips that you're talking about, who was on that boat with you when you were a kid? Who taught you to fish and maybe even to sail?
I learned from watching my father sail. But fishing, I think, would have been his first mate. Pops is too busy running the boat to take time to teach someone how to fish. There you go, lower drop.
Wait, so your father was the captain of the boat? Yeah.
Yes, my father was. He took us out in his personal boat, but he was the head of the familial shipbuilding empire. Empire? No, conglomerate. Not that big. Just a group of family businesses.
Family business.
So you were like out. He took you on these like business trips, but
Yeah, business trips, and then once I got old enough, or when I was younger, just the family trips as well.
okay, that's interesting. Were you working? Were you watching? Were you like the attitude like, "Hey, this was yours," or you have to learn the family trade?
The latter.
Okay,
Family
so
trade
you were working. You were like working hard.
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Working all the way myself up from a midshipman to a second mate to a first mate, and then captains on some of the smaller cargo runs, and here and there hopping.
You said you had brothers and sisters?
Yeah, they're not the greatest though.
They're not what? What?
They're not the greatest though.
What's wait, your brothers and sisters aren't the greatest? What?
No, I mean they're kind of why I'm out here. Pops
What?
passed away. And they kind of pushed me out.
What? Like
Well, you see, the rest of my family's not Goliaths; they're humans.
uh-huh. So they pushed you out because of Goliath?
Well, I wasn't. They said go be upper management, and I said no. And they said, oh, you can't stick around and just be a simple Goliath sailor. And I said, why not? And they said, well, Pops. And that's all they said.
So what do you have just brothers or brothers and sisters?
Well, I had it out of character. I know I gave a number of what my numbers of my siblings were, and I can't remember now.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now for you.
My session zeros were fragmented and interspersed with long bouts of creativity that I don't remember.
Yeah, one
And
moment.
booze.
And booze, yeah. You have, if I recall correctly, I'm going to confirm this in just a second when I find the right section of where this is. I think this might be it. I think you have 3 siblings. I think you have an older sister and 2 younger brothers.
Yes, that checks out. I knew I had the older
that checks
sister.
out. Mm-hmm.
They're all
She's the
regular
worst.
sized or
Yes, I'm the adopted individual.
What is
The
this
only one.
regular size? You say that
You
like
know.
there's a right and a wrong size.
no, I
These
didn't
are
say the right
right
size. I said the regular that you expect people to be when you meet them.
Are you? What are you?
I'm small, but I don't
Oh.
expect to meet small people.
Don't you get offended when you're called small?
No, I mean I'm technically small. Like
See.
I'm of the size category small.
I see.
Yeah.
And-
Okay, so as Bacchio and I are talking. Actually, no. I would know this probably. Are Goliaths just really big humans, or are they their own separate thing?
You would know this. Goliaths are Goliaths are their own separate thing, kind of. Like many of the sort of races, or I sort of hesitate to call them that. Really, they're like subspecies, I guess, morphologically, because they got half orcs and or like half orc, half human. Orcs are sort of humanoid. They're all, most of the races, species, whatever, are humanoid. Goliaths are colloquially referred to as giantlings. Sometimes people call them half giants, but you would know, with your proficiency in our arcana and history, and your sort of intelligence and how well read you are. There are half giants. That Goliath is not a half giant, technically. I mean, there are half giants. There are such things as half giants out in the world somewhere. People often call Goliaths half giants, but it's not technically correct. Giantlings is like a slang that people use. Like, there's halflings and there's giantlings, and they're like, halflings are like small humans and giantlings are like small giants. Is sort of what people. That's sort of the thought process colloquially. But Goliath is just another sort of a word. Actually, make a history check for me.
Okay. History. There it is. 27.
Okay. 27. Goliath, the term Goliath actually comes, it originates, it comes from the dwarves, and make their ancestral home in Brantinos. They are the ones that initially coined sort of the term and called them that. And with the 27 history, you would know that most of the giants, most of the Goliaths ancestrally reside or are from, presumably, the continent of Theocodia, and the northern sections of the continent. So the northern parts of Epharos, and the islands, and the section of Theocodia that is the northernmost. They are a hardy people that are acclimated to the cold, and are large. But the term Goliath is not what they call themselves, actually. It's what the dwarves called them. And with the 27 history check, you guys have heard, actually, there's a song about this. You guys came across in one of the taverns. There's been a number of wars over the years between the Goliaths and the dwarves. Most notably, the first one of historical record was a surprise attack from the Goliaths on the dwarves, there's a song, you guys, story about this legendary figure of the dwarves who like single-handedly defended them against this like oncoming surprise attack from the north.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, I guess if like Bacchio and I are just sitting and chatting, I would also want to know, like, does he have any idea how he ended up down here, or like was he just a baby in a basket that floated down the ocean and just like appeared and has no recollection of this?
I don't remember.
Did you say you don't remember?
Yep, don't really remember.
Did you ever think about it?
Quite often.
Huh. Interesting. What do you think about when you think about it? Like, where am I from? Who are my parents? Etc. Etc. What does the K stand for?
I mean, you've hit it all pretty squarely on the head. Running into that old Goliath and those two young ones on that first sailboat really kind of kicked into high gear. And now that we've got this boat, maybe at one point we can find ourselves going up north.
Out of character, definitely want to figure out what the K stands
for. But okay, so how will you know when you found how will you know when you found it? Like, what is your plan? We get up north and then what?
How does it feel when you walk in your front door?
Like my front door, like the house where I grew up in, my front door.
Yeah.
Feels like I'm home.
Cool. There's your answer.
Interesting. But you don't remember it. Do you think you'll remember it?
It'd be much different than from feeling the rudder in your hands, the rope pulling beneath your fingertips. The same feeling as that everywhere else. Just right.
Huh. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. I mean, yeah, I don't know. For me, where I came from, never felt like much of a determiner of who I was. But I guess that's easy to take for granted.
Yeah. The ocean's big. It'll take a while to find it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if the last day or so has proven anything, it's that the ocean's really big. We're not even in the ocean. We're just in a big lake, right?
Used to be, apparently. Like my finger.
Is it salty?
No, it's freshwater.
Interesting.
Canonically, I'm too dumb to know the reason why it's fresh. Salt versus fresh.
Yeah.
I think Bacchio would just lapse into silence if you don't ask him any more questions.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not trying to push too hard.
The next person who wakes up, who do you guys wake up for watch next?
Well, I know that Nat likes to get up really early, so I'm gonna pick someone who isn't her.
Okay.
I guess maybe Tyron and Tim.
Oh, I already had requested to be on last call.
Oh, that's right. So maybe Sig and Tyron.
Okay.
Oh, sounds good.
You see Nalikos stir as well, and you can have him. He actually kind of wakes up, and as you guys are waking up, Sig and Tyron, you see he's actually has been not awake the whole time, far from the whole time, but you actually saw him stir a little bit, and he's been awake for a little bit. He, as you guys are sort of preparing, he kind of swims over to you, Bacchio, slowly, and sort of with his hand out, both his hands out, and just kind of says, "Hey, wasn't trying to eavesdrop the. I don't know. It's weird sleeping here. Sorry to hear about your dad. I lost mine too. So, and my mom. But, anyways." If you don't say anything, Bacchio, he just kind of goes, "Yeah, nah, no worries," and just kind of leaves you alone.
Yeah, I think I'm making notion, but I'm too wrapped up in the thoughts of where my family comes from.
Totally.
It's not like a callous that's like just brushed off, but it's like a deep nod.
Yeah. He also knows that like you guys have had a bit of a rocky history, and so he's like certainly not trying to push it. It's kind of a little olive branch of. But if you don't feel like that would have struck a chord, totally, he's like.
I'm not refusing the olive branch.
Okay.
And I think it's something I'll return to in the future. But I
Sure.
feel like right now it's just a
rush.
sympathetically deep nod.
Okay. Yeah, he sort of nods and goes, "Okay." He joins. I'll have Tyron. Tyron, can you roll a d8 for me, please? Because one of us is at the hospital and the other one's an NPC. So. No dice rolling for us. Tyron, let me know what you get on your d8.
6.
Okay. It's very dark. you guys here underwater and night, the night sky. You can't really see the night sky very well. Even the light of the moon is very faint. Nalikos looks at both of you and just kind of looks around and he goes. He turns to you, Tyron. He says, "So, what is it that you really? What is it that you really want? I mean, like, out here. I don't know."
Is he saying that to both of us?
No, he's mostly focused on Tyron, but he's just sort of. Feel free to jump in if you want to.
I'm curious too, so I'll let Tyron have the floor.
Give me a few minutes.
Yeah.
No
worries.
Scrolling.
Is it? I wonder. I just wonder what it. I wonder if. I wonder what your goals might be. I don't know. You've got some very powerful abilities, and that axe, and I don't know. Just curious.
Well, I think initially, right now, my first goal is to get a better understanding of, maybe even like a visual, of like who this being that I've been interacting with this whole time is, because I can see them, or I can't see them, but like I can hear them, and they speak to me, and they're a voice, and they're in my dreams, and they take different forms. And even my raven is a form of it. So trying to understand how I can get a true sense of who they are.
Makes sense. I have dreams too. He sort of motions to Sig. He says, our I don't know if our partner, our patron, sends me dreams sometimes. I know he sends them to Sig too. Sometimes we even have the same dreams.
They're mostly not pleasant, though.
Yeah. They're not the worst, though. I mean...
While we're talking, am I able to cast a spell so I can heal myself, because I'm at 9 health?
Oh, yeah, totally. You can cast spells out of combat whenever you want.
Alright, because I want to do my prayer of healing.
Okay.
4th level.
Did I take damage, by the way?
You did not.
Cool. Shred.
You and
Alright.
Nikos were being roguey ranged bros, staying out of range of things. Prayer of healing at 4th level, you said?
Yeah, 15.
Is there anybody else you want to heal with that?
If Nalikos is hurt, then I'll heal him.
He's not hurt.
Can we all be healed from that, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's like up to 8 targets. You can heal everybody. Everybody who wants
15
okay, yeah,
points
sure.
Can have
15 hit points.
Oh yeah, I'll do that then. Everyone.
What's your prayer? What's your chant?
I think we kind of established that, although it would be interesting if we're in water, of how exactly I would be able to execute it. But like the last few times when I've done the prayer of healing, it's been like I sit down and I kind of chant and meditate and use blood and write on a papyrus or a paper, and then like it glows, and then you get healed.
Is there something that you say in particular, though?
Mostly, I think it's just like no. Well, actually, I have used some words here and there. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. I've used like sano and consano, so we can do that.
Nice.
Or I just repeat like sano and consano, sano and consano.
After the prayer of healing takes several minutes, and after just like 20-30 seconds of him repeating these things, it becomes almost nonsensical and musical, but this sort of not loud, but this humming, almost rhythmic chant that he is sort of muttering to himself as he says his prayer of healing, and will heal all of you. Is there anything else, Sig or Tyron, that you guys would talk about or talk to Nalikos about?
With each other?
Oh yeah, over the next couple of hours as you're watching.
I want to learn more about Tyron's family, but I also don't want to grill Silas too much.
So it's another thing that my character is trying to figure out, because the way I've written him is that he was kind of dropped off at the monastery before he got, kicked out after everything. So it's like he doesn't really have a working memory of like who his family is or sort of where he came from. Anything that would be knowledgeable would be whoever picked him up, I guess, at the monastery. So
then, how about this? Tell us more about this monastery. What's it called? What are they all about?
Yeah.
Let me see if I've got my backstory here. So I wrote it all out. Let me see.
You can share whatever you think Tyron would share.
Yeah, you don't have to actually tell the truth.
So, like, okay.
So,
actually, I think what I'd like to do is, because I know I sent it to you because it was like a very elaborate, like, whole backstory, and I'd rather like type it and just put it in the channel or something.
Okay.
If that's okay.
I mean, yeah.
Because like I need to figure.
I mean, that's okay, but I think part of the exercise, which is why I think Carl and I are. I love to roleplay, so but if you're not comfortable, that's totally cool too.
Well, I mean, it's more sort of like remaining consistent, and basically like trying, because like it's been a little bit since I've had to think about my backstory. So it's like you have people who could be paladins of like righteous warriors and fighters, and then people who are sorcerers, and there was like a whole kind of academy or monastery of sorts where you would have a couple different disciplines to choose from, and if you didn't choose one, or if you didn't have an affinity for one, then you could try the other, and if you didn't, then they would try to find something else. And I need to.
Yeah. What was your affinity? Did you have one in particular?
Mostly like sorcery. I think I had tried to do hand-to-hand combat, and unlike how I wrote my character's story of he had a friend who took to it very well, and was a lot better in combat than he was, and his friend's name is Dundarian. So, yeah.
Dundarian. Was he your best friend? Did you guys both sort of grow up there together?
Yes. The way I wrote it was that we were kind of like inseparable, yet we were two different, like left hand, right hand kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which hand were you?
I'd say left hand,
Nice.
because like, yeah, like sorcery and all that kind of stuff. So
Did Dondarian use magic as well?
he was more of a more of a fighter, but he could use it when he needed to. So
What happened to
Where's he
him?
now?
So, since he didn't get kicked out, he carries out missions from the monastery, and that basically he does stuff around wherever he's called. So,
How did he feel when you were kicked out? Did he try to... Doesn't he want you to come back?
he is more sort of the person who's like, you chose your path with your actions.
Damn. Tough love.
So like he's a very like self-righteous and like this is what you chose kind of thing, and that's also because like he was just kind of plays into like the righteousness of him being who he is and the fact that he's like a paladin or whatever. So
You as his friend wouldn't make him choose between you and the rules that he values so highly.
no.
We get it.
Sounds like you guys were a good pair.
It was also interesting, out of character. I had written it sort of that eventually maybe we would cross paths because, yeah, so.
That remains to be seen.
That remains to be seen. Yeah. I hope you guys do cross paths, though, Naliko says.
It has been a while since I've seen him, and it would be interesting. I'm not sure if he would feel the same, so. Because after all, I did kind of take down half of the monastery by accident.
Oh,
Sorry,
damn.
what? Wow. Yeah, I was thinking maybe you like got in one too many food fights in the cafeteria, but that sounds serious.
I have a curious I got my hands on a book that I shouldn't have done anything, and that's why I can hear my god too. So that's where I'm trying to understand.
That's cool. Well, if
So
you
now
ever... Yeah, what's
Sorry,
up?
I was going to say something. Finish your thought.
No, what's up, Nalikos? Or what's up, Sig? What's on your mind?
Where do you think Nora and Boko are?
I worry about Boko a little bit. I hope they're doing okay. I'm sure Nora's fine wherever she is. Maybe she's home just like you.
I sure hope so. We should probably find them at some point. I feel a little responsible.
I know, yeah. I don't think Nora ever really liked me, but Boko and I got along.
Yeah, I don't think she liked you very much.
Boko and I used to play sometimes when it was late and I couldn't sleep, or if I was on watch, or on sort of duty when we were sailing. Sometimes they and I would play cards late at night, have a cup of tea and some cakes. It's always funny hearing the wisdom of a grandmother come from like a 25-year-old, or maybe not even that old.
Well, Boker's kind of got an old soul. You know the whole deal with that, right?
Oh yeah.
Did I explain that to you?
Yeah, no, you did. Still doesn't make it weird. It doesn't make it less weird, though.
Yeah. Tyron, do you have any questions for Nalikos or myself?
I have a few, but it is 9 o'clock and I need to go soon.
Oh.
But I guess what I would just ask is, like, does Nalikos know how he was named?
Ooh.
How I was named?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Yeah. My name, my name was given to me by my mother, and is I'm named after one of the old sort of folk legend heroes of the place that I grew up, Nalikos. Yeah, no, my mother gave me that name when I was young.
Now I want to hear the story of the folk hero Nalikos.
Story for another night or another
Another
session,
day.
I think.
That's fair.
Yeah, he says my my parents named all of us for either different stories or after family members. There were 4 of us. Now there's just me.
Do you feel like you live up to the name Nalikos in the stories?
No, not yet. I hope to, though. My mother always, well, I try to take her hopes as well wishes rather than expectations. Anyways, yeah, I'll. He kind of gets emotional. He says, yeah, I don't know, between Bacchio and this now, and I haven't thought about my family like this in a long time. I miss them. Just don't think about them very much. It's hard. It's heavy. Anyways, let's talk about something else. And he sort of makes small talk for the rest of the watch. And we will pick up with the last watch, which will be Tim and Nat when we start our next session. Also, I've got potentially some stuff coming up at work over the next couple weeks. And so I may move to doing sessions every other week, so I can use the off weeks to prep, depending on how busy and sort of crazy stuff gets with work. I will let you guys know probably over the course of Monday or Tuesday of tomorrow or the next day, sort of what the dynamic is. But what's up?
If it influences anything, I'm not able to join next weekend. On next Sunday, I will be driving back from Seattle.
Okay. Let's take next weekend off then, and so then our next session will be well, actually, hold on. I'm gonna be gone. No, I'll be back that weekend. Our next session will be what is it? The 31st? Does that make sense?
If we're done by 7, we're good.
Yeah, the 30. I think tentatively the next session will be the 31st. I will post it in the scheduling channel, but yeah, we may do the 31st, and then the next one after that will be the 14th. So we may do every other week just until things calm down a bit at work for me. Sorry, guys.
And then I'll be back in August. Woo!
And he'll be back in August, so everyone will be back, yeah, make room for our all of our summer plans that are going on and everything. So, all right,
Peace.
you guys are freaking awesome. I'm very excited. Hopefully this session was fun. I loved the lore drop about Bacchio. That was really cool. Some of that stuff I didn't even know. It's amazing. I'm down to hang out a little while afterwards if anybody wants to catch up or just chill. But
I can hang for a minute.
I'm gonna stop the recording. So.